Japan's Patriot missile transfer to U.S. stuns Indo-Pacific watchers. Let's talk about today's news in migration world. To get all updates, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell. Washington. Japan's decision to ship Patriot missiles to the U.S. to help backfill stocks of air defense systems for Ukraine has surprised analysts focusing on Indo-Pacific affairs. Many have questioned the rationale of taking weapons out of the Indo-Pacific for a battle in Europe, when the administration of U.S. President Joe Biden has said all along that China is the pacing threat. The transfer of Patriots was a request from the U.S. side. This suggests that the Biden administration has concluded that a Chinese invasion of Taiwan is not imminent. While many in Washington agree to that assessment, some oppose shifting attention away from the Indo-Pacific. The government of Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida has made a fundamental error in going along with the Biden administration's prioritization of Europe, said Elbridge Colby, a former U.S. Deputy Assistant Secretary of Defense for Strategy and Force Development. We have sent weapons that we cannot replace in a timely fashion. We have distracted the attention of the defense industrial base, and we've spent over $100 billion on Ukraine, said Colby, co-founder and principal at Washington strategic think tank the Marathon Initiative. Japan cannot say we should go along with Ukraine and we'll wait our turn. Asia needs to come first, Colby said. That is the rhetorical position of the U.S., but it has to be the actual position. Jennifer Kavanaugh, senior fellow in the American Statecraft program at the Carnegie Endowment for International Peace, called it a short-sighted decision, both by Japan and the U.S. Most assessments suggest that Japan doesn't have enough air defense to defend its own air bases in the event of a Chinese attack. To draw down its stocks further incurs a significant risk, she said. Last year, the Japanese Defense Ministry announced that the country currently only holds around 60% of interceptor missiles needed to defend the country. It says something about the Biden administration's priorities, Kavanaugh added. They are willing to prioritize arming Ukraine over Asia, despite their pronouncement that Asia is the priority theater for the United States. To pave way for the Patriot transfer, Japan on Friday eased restrictions on arms exports for the first time in almost a decade, allowing the export of lethal weapons to certain countries. To conform to its pacifist constitution, Japan maintains that such weapons cannot be shipped to countries at war. With this transfer of Patriots to the U.S., the destination is the U.S. and the end user is the U.S. military, the Defense Ministry said in a statement. The U.S. government is required to obtain Japan's consent before transferring the Patriot missiles to a third country. The ministry said, under these rules, the Patriots provided by Tokyo cannot go directly to Ukraine, but by backfilling U.S. inventories, it offers the U.S. more freedom to send American-made air defense systems to Ukraine. U.S. National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan issued a statement Friday welcoming Japan's easing of arms export restrictions. This decision will contribute to the security of Japan and to peace and stability in the Indo-Pacific region by ensuring that U.S. forces, in close cooperation with the Japan Self-Defense Forces, will continue to maintain a credible deterrence and response capability, Sullivan said. But Kavanaugh questioned this categorization. That stipulation ensures that it won't violate Japan's domestic requirements, but it still has the same implications for Japan's security, in the sense that Japan has fewer missiles, she said. Kelly Grieco, a senior fellow at the Stimson Center, said that while there is clearly a need to ramp up air defense missile stockpiles in Japan, she sees two positive implications for the country in the long run. One is that it sets a precedent for Japan to transfer weapons to the U.S., which could pave the way for similar actions in a conflict between China and Taiwan. The second is that this could spur co-production of weapons and ammunition with Japan, which would not have been the case if jointly produced munitions could not be exported due to Japan's domestic restrictions. Such co-production will further integrate the allies, Grieco said. But such long-term benefits only matter if China will not take military action to force Taiwan unification in the near term, which might be the conclusion the Biden administration has arrived at, following the meeting between Biden and Chinese President Xi Jinping on the sidelines of the San Francisco APEC meeting last month. There's a sense that China is very preoccupied at home in terms of its economic problems, and historically when China had economic problems at home, it looks inward, Grieco said. The Communist Party is very concerned about regime stability, and so in those times, it tends to compromise more with external actors and tries not to get itself in situations of conflict externally, she added. Thank you for watching the video. If the video was helpful, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to this channel for the upcoming videos. See you in the next video.